never been a time that I don't think that it was my favorite storytelling medium. It's always been the ultimate, the one that wows me the most when it does. And film and music and written prose, all those kind of poetry, they all do that in different ways, but comics is the one that does it the most, and I get the most kind of powerful reaction to in myself. So as a creator, I love the idea of being able to connect with people the way that comics connect with me. I think it's just a brilliant way to experience a story. I think it mixes all these different storytelling techniques that you do find in a lot of other mediums, but allows you to do it and put all these pieces together, and allows the reader to kind of experience it in their own unique way. And I think that's, yeah, just really powerful. I definitely dreamed of being an artist early on. I think I would have made that proclamation, I'm gonna be a comic book artist, or I'm gonna make comics, or at an early age, but I don't know that I ever really believed that is what would kind of end up happening. Certainly as I got older, the more distant that kind of seemed, and got really into animation, Japanese animation and 3D animation, and I kind of went down that avenue for a while, but found that it wasn't kind of the artistic expression. It was much too mathematical and pixel based and modeling, and it wasn't expressive in the way that I wanted. So for a long time, drawing was just something I did on the side, and I think it took working in an industry like graphic design to realize, oh yeah, this is not actually what I want to be doing, and there are people out there that draw for a living, and why don't I have a crack at it? And it was my wife actually who suggested studying illustration at a course she found at Enmore Design Centre. Studying that was, getting accepted into that, and then doing that study and seeing my skills progress through that time was the first time that I think I really started to realise that it was an actual possibility for me to kind of make a living, make money off my art. One of my favourite comics that I've done is a short comic I did called Moments Like These, which I did for a read to me a few years ago, and that is one of my favourites because it's a personal story. It's about my family, it's about my son, who was 2, 3 at the time, and it was about my memories of travelling with my father. That's a project that I look back on that I'm really, really happy with. It brings out a lot of nice memories in me, and it kind of, yeah, I'm happy with that, and I think very fondly of doing that project. Both my parents are creative. My dad works in theatre, he's a creative writer, he's a storyteller. My mum's a slashy, she does heaps of stuff. She's a singer, songwriter, she's written movies, she's written books, she's done stand-up comedy, she has jazz albums and comedy albums and all this kind of stuff. So they're both storytellers, and I used to think that and they're both writers. I used to think that by choosing drawing, I was rebelling against their kind of creative outlets, but really I see now it is all just storytelling, and I've just kind of followed their suit. So they're definitely a huge influence. In my downtime, at the moment, mostly I am hanging out with family and kids, or I am hanging out with other daggy dads and throwing ourselves around a skate park. I used to rollerblade as a teenager, and I've started that up again just at the beginning of the year, and it's been just an awesome, fun exercise, hangout thing that has become a really regular and integral part of my mental health. And actually the enthusiasm for rollerblading is reflecting in my personal kind of art that I'm making at the moment. So I've been doing a whole bunch of series of rollerblading illustrations that are a fun way for me to explore different techniques and different colours, and that's also contributing to that stylistic shift, and also upskilling. I'm started working on some animations and kind of developing my skills in that arena, and drawing some cool rollerblading tricks while I'm at it. So yeah, it's good fun. I guess my art is pretty kinetic. I'm always trying to convey some type of movement in the work. I want it to feel as though it's a paused kind of moment that you've caught, and the second you look away from it, it might continue moving. I think I'm just ever experimenting, and I like to look at different styles and experiment with my style and try different techniques just so it doesn't get boring. So I definitely have a consistent aesthetic. One of the things I like about making art is that it kind of grows like you do as a person. Your influences change, your art changes, your approach to making art changes. I'm addicted to art making. Like I'm addicted to drawing and that feeling of finishing a drawing or of making a nice kind of image appear on a canvas or a piece of paper or something. There's definitely an addictive relationship there. In terms of storytelling, like I want to make work that my kids are going to experience. I think that for me is a huge kind of thing going forward. I want to create things that they're going to I know they're going to read one day, and I want it to be a nice experience for them. I want them to be able to take something from that. I want them to be able to see themselves in the stories. I want them to be able to learn from the stories, learn about the world from the stories, learn about themselves, however it is. Yeah, they're very inspiring in many ways.